What up, y'all? It's your boy Aaron, one half of the 404 Heels. We're here to do a little reaction, reviews, feelings, initial thoughts about the Raw on December 9th, 2024. We're going to kick off the show. It's going to start with Gunther coming to the ring. He's cutting a little promo, but, here comes Finn Balor, his, challenger for that World Heavyweight Championship. Finn starts by saying he gives shots to people who don't deserve it, like Dominic Mysterio, which is very, very interesting. He kind of takes a shot at his buddy Dirty Dominic Mysterio while Dirty Dom's standing right next to him. Dominic kind of gets a little look on his face like, what the fuck, bro? But Finn also points out to Gunther that he wouldn't be the champ without Finn Balor's help at SummerSlam. He's like, the only reason you got that belt is because I helped you. The only reason you retain that belt at Survivor Series is because I helped you. Gunther responds with some digs saying, I didn't need your help. I never needed your help. And, he kind of says that Finn Balor has filled in that number 2 role behind Damian Priest pretty well. He chose to be a number 2 person. He also says that, Finn Balor's been taking corners, cutting corners, cheating corners, all that good stuff. And then he's also been hanging out with weirdos in little clubhouses talking about the Judgment Day. Gunther also hits him with, you've only been champ for one day, bro. I've been champ for thousands of days with the Intercontinental belt, and I'm going to be champ with thousands of days after. That's basically what Gunther's like, I got days being champion. Finn Balor's only been tag team champs. And, he was the first Universal champ, but it was only for a day. Then we get pissed off Damian Priest coming up behind the Judgment Day. All hell breaks loose, fighting everywhere. Damian kind of takes out all 4. Then Gunther takes out Damian. Then Finn takes out it's just pandemonium everywhere. Bodies are flying everywhere. It ends with the coup de grace on Damian Priest, I believe 3 or 4 times. And, the Judgment Day standing tall because they had the numbers. Obviously, they had the numbers. I honestly thought they were going to set up maybe a tag match, maybe Gunther, Damian Priest versus, JD and Finn, or JD, Dom. Any combination. I thought they might, team up to take out the Judgment Day, and that still might happen. And then, we get a little backstage segment, Adam Pearce, and he confronts the Judgment Day, and he lets Finn know that he just made the title shot at Saturday Night Main Event a triple threat match. So we're going to have Damian Priest, Gunther, and Finn. A lot of stories you could tell here within this match. I highly look forward to it. Besides KO Cody, this is the second match I'm looking forward to for sure. And, of course, the crown of a new women's champion is going to be pretty dope, too, the women's belt, the U.S. women's belt. But, after that match, we get, my boy Steph's going to, be a little braggadocious because this match was not good at all. He calls them the Sesame Street Gang. It's the Wyatt Six. The Wyatt Six, Sesame Street Gang, as my boy Steph Ronan would call them, versus the Final Testament and Miz. And this match, I know, it didn't last long for a fatal, like a 4-on-4 match, so maybe that's why it kind of fell flat because it was so quick. But, of course, we get Nikki Cross under the announce table. Wonder how long she was down there for, but she jumps on Scarlett, obviously, when Scarlett interferes. We get Paul Ellering back. He throws a little powder in the face to Bo Dallas. That's what, gets Karrion Kross the win, the advantage over the Wyatt Six. But overall, just not a good match at all. Just weeks of build-up for maybe a 10-minute match with barely any storytelling within the match. Huge letdown. I'm a fan of the Wyatt Six. I don't know where they go from here, though. I don't know. Do they continue this Final Testament and see what happens from there? Are they going to be on Raw? Do they go to SmackDown with this transfer portal that we're going to talk about on Word on the Street coming up this Thursday, baby? But either way, just not a great match, not that good moments, nothing really too crazy. The Miz just seems kind of lost in the shuffle a little bit. They kind of just threw him in here. But instead of getting CM Punk live, we get CM Punk in a sit-down with Jackie Redmond. They make a couple Chicago Blackhawks jokes, hockey, for those of y'all who don't know. Of course, the first question Jackie Redmond, like anyone would do, is ask him what that favor was between him and Paul Heyman. And, we all know we weren't going to get an answer right away. We might not get an answer for a while. Could be 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, a year. It could be a long time. I think we know what it is before WrestleMania, the favor that is. But CM Punk just says it's going to stay between him and Heyman, obviously. And then she brings up the next relevant topic with CM Punk, and that is Seth freaking Rollins. And CM Punk doesn't understand the hate that Seth has for him. He talks about how he asked Punk when Seth Rollins was 16 years old, he asked Punk to help train him, which Punk agreed to for free, he added. That's a little nugget that might mean something later. But he also said he shielded Seth Rollins from getting fired back in the day. And then also throws one last thing and is like, Seth filled that void when I was gone for 10 years. He was a good filler, but now it's time to get back on the bench. Basically saying the only reason Seth Rollins was relevant was because CM Punk left the company. Could that be true? Could that not be true? We don't know. What do y'all think? Do y'all think if CM Punk stays, do we even know who Seth Rollins is? Is Seth Rollins still, up there? But then we get the other half promo. We get Seth coming out, in-ring promo. He looks like he skinned the Cookie Monster for them sleeves he was wearing. It just looked like the Cookie Monster, He had the sleeves, the blue sleeves, just looked like he took it from the Cookie Monster, but that's besides the point. I do like when Seth's coming to the ring, we get a little side graphic of all of his belts, accomplishments, Money in the Banks, Royal Rumble wins. It's pretty cool to see that. But Seth also says that, CM Punk took a little bit of the truth and twisted it to make him look like the victim. When CM Punk abruptly left, they were friends, and then, CM Punk ghosted everyone. So Seth is like, it wasn't just that. If it would have ended there, it would have been all right. But then he ghosts everyone. Then he spent 10 years talking smack about the company, trying to tear it down, trying to bring it down. He was gone. And then, Seth's going to point out that he came back after he failed everywhere else. Shout out, diss. But I don't necessarily think he failed in AEW. He was probably the most successful part about AEW at the time. But it's neither here nor there, Seth's got to take those shots. He said he failed everywhere, and he came back when the money was right. Another dig to a little money talk, working for free, talking about how he came back because the money was, right. Then Seth even says, which is kind of crazy, but even though it's true, he's like, you haven't main evented WrestleMania. I have. Which is true, but Seth did main event WrestleMania last year, night one, but it really wasn't because of Seth. It was because of Cody, The Rock, and Roman. You were, again, not the star player in that match either. Even though you were the MVP for what you did at WrestleMania, you were not the star of that match. And then you lost the belt at Mania 2 the next day. And then you were involved in the night 2 main event as well, but everyone was involved in that. So just kind of taking subtle digs at each other. I don't know when this will culminate and when they will face off. Maybe Raw on Netflix, probably. They're going to have a huge face-off, hopefully one of many matches, if the match is good. But then Sammy comes out and ruins the whole thing. He basically asked if him and CM Punk are okay, if they're, if they're feeling okay, if they're friends. Sometimes friends got to fight type thing. They got to do what they got to do. Seth says, you got your own problems. It seems like Drew's coming after you. So then Seth leaves the ring, says, hey, man, we're good. They have a little hug it out moment. We're good. I'm good. It's done. I'm worried about CM Punk. You need to be worried about Drew McIntyre. So we just move on from that. Sammy cuts a promo saying how he's going to fight at Saturday Night Main Event. He's already talked to Adam Pearce, all that good stuff. So Sammy gets walking back to the locker room, and then boom, Drew McIntyre comes out, attacks again. I am a huge fan of this Drew McIntyre, this heel Drew McIntyre. And it seems like he's going after the Bloodline. He, in the promo earlier, he calls out that he, attacked Jey Uso, which we all kind of knew. Jey Uso is out. He wasn't cleared this week, so no Jey Uso this week. And then he says, something like, at least CM Punk, who went and worked with Roman Reigns, got something out of it. These three, the Usos and Sammy Uso, are doing it blindly and stupidly, and they're getting nothing from it. And he says, you can't change the past. The only thing you can change is the future. So basically calling out the OG members of the Bloodline, going back to Roman for no reason, even though Roman treated him shitty. Kind of give him a shout out to CM Punk for, at least if you're going to work with the guy, you get a little something for it. Then we get, the new heels who I love, the New Day. I love this New Day. They're walking by. They walk into the building to start the show. No one in the crew are giving them love. They're trying to dap up people that they probably dapped up all the time. Everyone seems pretty salty about the Big E turn, how they turned on Big E last week and kind of tore him apart in that promo. So we get a clip of Adam Pearce's office, and here comes Cody Rhodes out of Adam Pearce's office. Very, very interesting because, this transfer portal that we're going to talk about, very much like the college football transfer portal, is going to let some people from Netflix. This is the reason they're doing it, is because of Netflix. It's going to let people from Raw go to SmackDown, SmackDown to Raw. I definitely think they're going to switch Gunther and Cody Rhodes because they probably want Cody Rhodes on Monday Night Raw when it goes to Netflix. Got to have the main belt on there. But he walks out of the office and the New Day is passing by and he basically says, you guys should be ashamed of yourself. Adding insult to the fire, adding the heel turn element to them. New Day, finally, they're doing a backstage interview, and they're just like, fuck it. We're going out to the crowd. Xavier Woods takes the camera for some strange reason and kind of records himself walking up to the ring. And these guys can't even cut a promo. The crowd's so into it. They're booing him. They're chanting, New Day sucks. New Day sucks. New Day sucks. New Day sucks. They're chanting Big E's name. They will every time Kofi and Xavier go to talk. They cannot. So they're getting that dirty Dom treatment. We'll see if it continues arena to arena to arena. But, earlier in the show, Adam Pearce told the Judgment Day that they're going to be defending their titles next week against the War Raiders. So I really think, the War Raiders are kind of a babyface, I guess, even though the crowd really doesn't care. But I do see the War Raiders beating the Judgment Day for the belts, and then somehow New Day cheating to then get those belts. Probably on Raw and Netflix, honestly. I think there's going to be a lot of shakeup on Raw and Netflix, and we'll see what happens, y'all. What are y'all thoughts? Do you think New Day is like the new tag team to be? Or do you think, is it going to the New Raiders or the War Raiders, or is it staying with the Judgment Day? Then we get a little throwaway match, but it kind of just sets up stuff outside of the match with Dakota Kai and Liv Morgan. You get the crappy group Pure Fusion Collective coming out. They make no sense. They attack Dakota Kai. Damage Control gets involved. Liv gets the upper hand on Io Sky with the Oblivion. We get all this stuff going down. And then at the end of the show, at the end of the main event, we get Liv standing over Io again on the Go Home show. Does Io got a chance here on Saturday Night Main Event to win this belt? Because at the end with Rhea and Io, they go to pick up the belt together and they're holding it at the same time. And that's how Raw goes off the air with a little bit of a stare down. So maybe Liv Morgan loses the belt at Saturday Night Main Event. That's the one I could see. They could switch hands, and that'd be something huge for NBC. They're going to do these a lot. There's already one scheduled for January, another Saturday Night Main Event. But could Liv Morgan lose this belt to Io Sky, setting up then Io Sky and Rhea Ripley for the belt? I like it. I could see it happening. I got a question for y'all, though. All I remember back in the day was anytime a person with a belt wrestled, that belt was on the line. Every time. I don't remember a single time back in the day when the heavyweight champ, world champ, or anything wrestled, but the belt wasn't on the line. And I see that happen a lot now. Cody will wrestle and the belt's not on the line. Liv wrestled Dakota, the belt's not on the line. Am I just crazy to the thought that it happened all the time back in the day and I didn't notice it? Or is this a new thing where the wrestler can wrestle without putting the belt on the line? It makes no sense to me. I've always thought growing up watching that every time that wrestler wrestled, whether it be Intercontinental, US, Cruiserweight, anytime that belt was on the line. But I could be crazy, y'all. Y'all let me know if I'm crazy or not. Is this a new thing in the last couple years? Or has it always been this way? Does the champ wrestle all the time without the belt? I don't know, y'all. Let me know. But I just remember them always wrestling with the belt if they had the belt. It was always on the line. It was never I wrestle without it on. But we get Lyra Valkyria, Selena Vega, and Ivy Nile in a triple threat for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. The crowd, I want to say the wrestling internet community is very, very much behind Selena Vega. And it seems the WWE is not behind Zelina Vega, and they are down for Lyra all day, every day. This girl has come up from NXT, is basically, runner-up to the Queen of the Ring tournament to Nia Jax. She wins mostly all the time. She had her little run with Kaden Carter, Katana Chance. That kind of fizzled out. But it's kind of a shorter match. But Lyra gets the win, surprised. And once I saw Zelina and Lyra in this match, I was like, man, I think Lyra's going to win this match because I know the year she's been having, and it's been a huge year for her. But Zelina, again, gets screwed over. We should have like a little screwed over all the time segment, and we can just throw Zelina Vega and the Street Profits in that little bubble. The screwed over, even though the crowd kind of likes them. But maybe it'll pay off in the future. I mean, Zelina did get one title match in Puerto Rico against Rhea, but it was at Backlash, and there was no way Rhea was losing that match. So we'll see. When does Zelina get her chance? Does Lyra win the belt? Hopefully not, but we'll see. We'll see. We get the main event, and by the time this main event started, it was already like 10 minutes left in the show. So I was like, they don't go over really in WWE anymore. So this is going to be a quick match, straight to the point. And that's how it starts. We get Raquel walking down to the ring, and Rhea just jumps and starts attacking. We get a huge ball in the crowd. They come back to the ring. Liv gets involved. Of course, we knew that was going to happen. But man, they just make Rhea Ripley look so unstoppable. She's taking on Liv Morgan and Raquel at the same time. So she's taking on a huge powerhouse in Raquel and the women's champ. And she's handling both of them. So it's like when she goes one-on-one with anyone, it shouldn't even be a close match. But Io Sky comes out. She saves the day, helps Rhea. Rhea throws Raquel through the table. 1, 2, 3. And then that's when we get the little at the end kind of thing with Rhea and, Io Sky holding that belt, the Women's World Championship. So we'll see where that goes. Do y'all think Io's got a chance at Saturday Night Main Event? I certainly do, the way this Raw went down. But y'all, that's all I got for y'all. What do y'all think about this Raw? It seems like they're kind of pushing more promos than match quality right now. So hopefully that kind of changes down the road, because it does seem like their promos are not missing. Promo after promo after promo on the weekly show. They can't miss on a promo. But these matches, they need some work a little bit. They need some work, maybe some more timing. Maybe we go back to 3 hours, which I'm excited for. We'll see, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. We got word on the street. Drop a fan question in the comments, y'all. Peace.